Jey Uso haters will not like this, and in this video I'm going to tell you exactly what he did, why they don't like it, and why you should care. Before we get into that, let me know down in the comments area below, how long do you think Jey Uso holds the IC title following his big win over Braun Breaker? I think that's a good jumping off point because it comes right after this. Look, Jey Uso on this week's episode of Monday Night Raw, he was able to finally do it. He defeated Braun Breaker to win the Intercontinental title. This marks Usos' first singles title win in WWE. He also made history by becoming the second only father-son duo to win the Intercontinental title. Jey Uso and Rikishi, they did just that. They follow in the footsteps of Kurt Hennig, Mr. Perfect, and Curtis Axel in that regard, which is a very impressive feat. But this is something that has been going on and on and on with Jey Uso. It's been building to this moment because Jey Uso obviously won the Intercontinental title tournament, earning this title shot, earning this match against Braun Breaker. Braun Breaker, someone who was someone that I don't think a lot of people thought that was going to have a very short title reign, if you think about it. So he challenged Sami Zayn for the IC title at Money in the Bank. He came up short, something in which a lot of people were so confused by. Coming out of it, it was determined that, hey, we want to have Braun win the title. We just want to do it on a bigger scale. People were like, what does that exactly mean? Fast forward, SummerSlam, he wins, then he goes and retains it in a 2-out-3 falls match. This sets up Braun Breaker versus Jey Uso. And coming into it, I was like, oh no. And I was very critical as to why you would put Jey Uso up against Braun Breaker. Like, I did not believe that Jey was going to win the title. And this is a guy that has consistently gone up and fallen short. And it's like, no. He's going to lose yet again. Like, it takes away from the credibility that he brings when he works matches. But to my surprise and to the surprise of many, WWE opted to have Jey Uso go over. And it's like, okay, this is something now. And Jey Uso's the champion. And there's been a lot of talk about Jey Uso in terms of like, there's a split in the audience, and I don't know why. I'm obviously a Jey Uso supporter. I believe in this guy. I think he is someone that has been underserved, underused under Triple H, underused by Vince McMahon, regardless of his past success. And that leads us to today's video, because coming out of Monday Night Raw, he issued a statement on his Instagram stories and sent a message to the haters. And he said, man, thanks to everyone who showed me love. I appreciate all of it. Even the haters. Welcome to the Yeet era. And you know that had to just burn these people's, in the famous words of Paul Heyman's, their tuchuses, right? It burned their tuchuses. And it's like, okay, like, yeah. So look, when it comes to Jey Uso, you either think he's overrated or underrated. You think he's been booked properly or not booked properly. Yes, he has found success in the past, whether it be as a tag team with his brother Jimmy, whether it be part of the bloodline with Roman Reigns, Paul Heyman, Solo Sikoa, whether it be going up against our tribal chief, the real tribal chief, the OG tribal chief in Roman Reigns in the pandemic era, where he became main event Jey Uso. His brilliant storytelling that he did with Sami Zayn during the bloodline, story. What he's been able to do with his brother, despite the fact that they had a very lackluster match at WrestleMania 40 due to time constraints, right? If you look at what they've done with him as a single star on Monday Night Raw, ever since he split up with the bloodline and left Roman and left his brother, he's done magical work. He's reinvented himself. He's made himself a bigger star. He has been able to show, look, I can stand on my own 2 feet. I don't need Roman. I don't need the wise man. I don't need my brother. He's gotten over to the fans to the point where he is one of the most over guys on the roster, whether it be Raw or SmackDown. He's up there in terms of over levels with Cody Rhodes and Roman Reigns. He's one of their biggest baby faces. He's probably second in terms of baby faces to Cody Rhodes, and the only reason I say that is Cody Rhodes is always crushing merchandise sales, but Jey Uso's right up there. When Jey Uso's on TV, ratings go up. When he's mentioned on social media, engagement goes up. Like every single business metric out there that the haters want to dismiss, it's like you might just want to get on the yeet train instead of trying to stop it, because this is such a huge, huge train with so much momentum, and it could go so far. And by having him win the IC title, it beckons the confidence of me and fans alike of, okay, we can believe in this guy. And while he may not be a world champion just yet, or maybe ever, he has a role in the company. They see him as a top star, and they're going to use him as a top star, and they're going to book him as that. And the IC title is definitely a great spot to be in, whether you want to look at it as a building block to the world championship, or you just want to look at it as, hey, this guy's IC champion. And I think it's something that you have to put into perspective. The IC title for a lot of years was the workhorse title. It was the title in which elevated guys from the upper mid-card to the main event scene. And you can go down the list, but we would be here way too long. Then, and that would headline B-level house shows or dark matches. And then we got to this point in time where it was just a prop, and you had guys holding it just because we don't have anything else for you creatively. Right? And I think of The Miz in that way. I think of like a Dolph Ziggler where it's like, we don't see you as a main eventer, but here's a title, here's a prize. And then it's changed under Triple H, and it's changed with the booking of Gunther in his 660-day reign, 66-day reign as champion of like, no, this title matters. And then they followed up with Sami Zayn winning it, and it's like, oh, this title matters. And then they followed it up with Braun Breaker. And what does Gunther have in common with Braun Breaker? A, Gunther is now a world champion, and B, Braun Breaker will be a world champion. What does Sami Zayn and Jey Uso have in common? They are two of the most over guys on the WWE roster. And it's like, okay, that makes sense. That's why we're doing this. So it's not just, here's a title, here's a prop, here's something to do. It's, no, we believe in you. We think you can do something big. We know you can do something big. Now go out there and prove us that you can do something big, that you're going to be someone big. To me, that's what that is. To me, that is what I believe in Jey Uso for, because I think he's going to be an absolute stud.